Hey Eugenia, it's Dustin. So I hope you are having a great day today. And I haven't made you a video for a little while, but I've been planning this video for a little bit, and this video is called My First Time. Now, I know you did this video, I think it was about 5 years ago, so it was quite a while ago, and I love your old videos. I think they're just so adorable. So this is one of the videos I like that you did a lot all those years ago. So I just had to do this video too. So I mean, sometimes it's just so hard to remember stuff from that long ago. So, but I'm gonna do my best and try and remember as much as I can of my first time, stuff I did when I was really young. So I have compiled a list here, so I can't wait to show you. So here we go. So my first word was actually rock. My mom, I'd asked her, she said, yeah, you would always say rock, you know, like a rock that you'd find outside. So I'd always play outside in like sandbox or in the mud or whatever. I'd have like backhoes and Tonka trucks and dump trucks and everything. So, and I was like obsessed with rocks. I loved rocks. I'd collect rocks and everything like crazy. So, I mean, I still love rocks today, especially crystals. Crystals are like one of my favorites, like crystals and gems and stuff like that. So, yeah, first word I would say was rock all the time, which is kind of funny that I was that obsessed that it was my first word, but yeah, it was. So yeah, so my first fear was actually learning to swim, or just actually being in the pool without like water wings. I don't know if you swam when you were little, Eugenia, but you know, it's like, you know, those blow up water wings, you know, that kids can have in the pool if they don't know how to swim, don't know how to do anything. Well, I'd have those water wings on all the time because I was so freaked out I was going to drown. And I couldn't understand how someone could stay afloat without these blow-up water wings on. So, yeah, I would just remember I must have been 5 or 6. It was, yeah, probably around 1986, 87, somewhere around there. But I remember my dad, he helped me learn to swim for the first time because we would go to our neighbor's house in that pool. They had a big pool there and everything, and we'd go swimming in the summer. So he helped me get comfortable with doggy paddling first, because I started to doggy paddle. I was freaked out, so I was just starting to paddle. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm staying afloat. I don't have to hold on to the side of the pool, you know. So yeah, I started with the doggy paddling and everything, and I was just so excited that I couldn't believe I didn't sink and drown. But yeah, it started from there, and finally I conquered that fear. But yeah, I'll never forget that. My first fear, learning to swim, or doggy paddle, if you want to say that. So yeah. Yeah, so my first pet was actually a cat named Ashes. So right there, yeah, that's little Ashes, cute little kitty. That's the only picture I have of Ashes. Really sweet kitty. Gosh, it must have been, I don't know, 87, 88, 1987, 1988, I think. But yeah, sweet little kitty. At first I was going to call her Smokey because, you know, the gray and everything, but I thought Ashes was a cuter name. But yeah, I'm still obsessed with cats. They're my favorite animals. But I mean, I love dogs, but obsessed with cats, and I was so happy to get a kitty, you know. So yeah, so my first friend was actually, his name was Nick Namas. I did have two first friends. I can't remember which one exactly was first. I'm pretty sure it was Nick, though. I had another friend named Ian Foster, best friend growing up too. Love Ian, he's great. But I think Nick was a little bit sooner. So Yeah, me and Nick, we would do everything, like play Army together because I'd always loved to play Army and GI Joes and stuff like that. And we'd be out at the park and down in there's like this bamboo forest at the park and everything. We'd play in there. We'd play Army and play Legos. I played Legos like crazy, and yeah, we'd build stuff and play for hours. But yeah, he's awesome. You know, I hung out with him all through elementary school, and then he went to a private school in junior high, and then I reconnected with him in high school, even though we were still going to different schools. So that was nice. So I did hang out with him for quite a while, till about the year 2000 when I graduated, and that's the last time I saw him. He went into the Navy, and yeah, I haven't heard from him since. But yeah, great friend, and hope he's doing good. Yeah, my first cell phone, this is kind of funny because there was no cell phones at all when I was in school and high school and everything. My dad was like, it was like crazy. Sometimes my dad let me borrow his old huge Motorola flip phone. It was just massive and everything, and I just thought it was the coolest. Oh my God, I got a cell phone, you know, and I can make a call whenever I want. But I remember that in the 90s. That was really funny. But the first cell phone I actually got that was mine, I moved out and got my first apartment right after I graduated high school in 2000. So I think it's around 2001. I was working at Office Depot at the time, and the other guys there got starting to get cell phones. So, and I was like really wanting one. So I got a Samsung. It was a Samsung flip phone. No color screen, no anything. You couldn't do anything but talk on it. So growing up, all there was pay phones. You know, you had to have quarters on you or ask someone to use their phone or everything. Because, I mean, there's no text messaging. You know, I had none. Yeah, Samsung, gray, flip phone, Sprint. It was old. It was so cool at the time, though. So my first kiss, I think it was actually, it was in the 80s. I was in second grade, so I think I was about 8 years old. And it was with a girl named Sarah, I think. But yeah, we were playing at a park with my other friends. The park was really close to the elementary school, and we were playing there, and there's like all these tree lines and everything around. It's a real pretty park. It's actually still the same as when I was young, but yeah, we were playing in the playground, and we'd play in the trees and everything. And then I don't know how it happened. It's like, but me and this girl, Sarah, we were friends and everything, and we were just hanging out in the forest, and then all of a sudden, you know, just kissed really quick and everything. And it was just like the weirdest feeling ever. I remember I was just, it was just like kind of awkward and kind of uncomfortable, but it's like, wow, that was interesting. What does that mean, you know, and everything. But it was kind of funny, but I do barely remember that incident. So my first crush, this is kind of funny. Growing up in the 80s, there's lots of great, you know, kid shows on TV like Sesame Street, you know, stuff like that. There was no SpongeBob or Barney. There was none of that. But Sesame Street I loved, and there was another show called Reading Rainbow. Well, I was probably, oh my gosh, 4 years old. So we're talking probably 1985, I'm thinking. You know, I'd always be sitting there on the couch with my little thing of Cheerios and everything. My mom would get them for me. So I'm sitting there eating the Cheerios, you know, waiting for Reading Rainbow to come on. And like near the beginning of the intro of it, there's this staircase, and there's this girl with black hair sitting on the staircase. And every time that instance came up in the intro, I was so excited because I'd be like, oh my God, she's so cute and everything. And I was like, God, I had to be 4 years old or something, but kind of funny. I was already thinking that, but yeah, Reading Rainbow, girl sitting on the staircase, that was my first crush. So my first video, I'm sure you know this question, Eugenia, but My first video on my YouTube channel, of course, was my drum cover that I did of the band Tool. That song, Stinkfist, which I love Tool, and I love playing drums to their drummer, Danny Carey. But yeah, that was my first YouTube video. The first video, though, I sent you, I think it was like June 25th of last year. I sent you a quick 20-second good night video saying I love you and stuff on Twitter. So that was kind of my first video, I guess. So it's kind of debatable, but you know what my first video is, Eugenia, I'm sure. So yeah. So my first Halloween costume, right there, bam. Oh gosh, I think this was 4 years old, 3 or 4, 1984, 1985. That's me dressed as a baseball player. That was my first outfit. I was obsessed with baseball. I still love baseball, but yeah, that's me dressed as a baseball player. I actually have lots of old pictures of me in all my costumes every year. There's probably like 8 pictures that my mom was able to find, so it was really nice of her to find these. But yeah, I'll show you another video of the rest of them, but that is the first one, me as a baseball player. So the first movie that I ever saw that I remember seeing was in 1986. I was at the Medford 4 movie theater. It doesn't exist anymore, but the movie An American Tail. It's with that little mouse, Fievel. I remember I just loved that movie, just loved it to death. I'd watch it like crazy afterwards, but the first time I saw it, I was just like, oh my God, you know, this is an amazing story, and he sings that song Somewhere Out There. I loved that song and everything, so I'd sing that when I was a kid and everything. But yeah, I always thought that movie was Disney, but it's actually not. Steven Spielberg did it with his company Amblin Entertainment. Yeah, I remember you saying in your first movie that you ever watched in your video that you did was The Little Mermaid. That's another one I love, and I saw that in 1989 when that came out. Just absolutely loved it. I was like obsessed with Ariel. Ariel was like awesome, you know. I mean, I know she's like your favorite Disney princess, and you know, I totally agree. She's like I'd say one of the best Disney characters, I would say. Of course, Jack Skellington is awesome, but Ariel, yeah, probably the best Disney princess, like you were saying. Just love it. You know, I watched The Little Mermaid so much too. So my first favorite song, I'm not sure if you'll know this, but was actually Buddy Holly's song Every Day. He goes, every day things are getting slower, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. A hey, hey. Hope that wasn't too cringy, but that's how the song goes. And my dad actually introduced me to Buddy Holly in around 1986. Buddy Holly and the Beach Boys were the first 2 bands I listened to. I still love his music. It's great, but now my first time meeting Mickey Mouse was in Disneyland I think it was in the 80s. I think it was like 1985. I was probably like 4. Bam, right there. That's me. That's my first time at Disney. That one, that's a gift shop there, and that's Mickey and Minnie Mouse in the background, so which I loved. I thought I had a picture of me with Mickey or Minnie Mouse, but me and my mom, we couldn't find it. So maybe it's just a memory I have or something, but this is me in 1985. So at Disney for the first time. And that's Mickey and Minnie Mouse. That's probably like a model of them in the background. I'm there in the park. So, but yeah, that was the first time meeting them. I know I met them that time, but yeah, that was the closest picture I could find. But yeah, I probably went to Disneyland. Probably like 3 times total. Like 85, probably another time in like 80, 88, 89, and then again in 91, I think, and then I think that was the last time. So I need to go again, you know. I love Disneyland. Pirates of the Caribbean, yeah, that's my favorite ride. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. So the first celebrity that I ever met, I don't know if you know this person. His name is Bruce Campbell. He did, I think his most famous film, it's like a cult classic, The Evil Dead. People like love that film. He's been in a lot of stuff, lots and lots of stuff, like small roles here and there, but Evil Dead's probably one of the ones he's most known for. He actually lives around here. He lives probably, I don't know, 20 minutes in the Rouge area, which is kind of in a forested mountain area west of here. But I've actually met him like 3 times. When I was working at Office Depot, I helped him buy a phone. I was helping him with a phone. He wanted a big phone system or whatever. I thought it was so cool that I was actually helping him. It was just unbelievable. But really nice guy. He's really cool, you know. He's a little quiet, you know, but yeah, I met him then, and then I helped him again at Office Depot. I had to ring him up at the cash register for something. And then the last time I met him, I was actually working in San Diego when I worked for Day Wireless. It was a telecommunications company. And I was flying home. I was standing in the terminal in LA. I think this was in 2007. Yeah, I think it was '07. I'm standing in LA terminal there, and I'm waiting to board the plane, and I look up and I see him, you know, and he just kind of goes. He knew that I knew who he was, but you know, I played it real cool, and I didn't bother him or anything. But yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, Bruce Campbell's on my plane. This is the 3rd time. So I sit in the plane, and who's my seatmate? Bruce Campbell sits next to me in the plane. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I got the window seat, and he's sitting next to me, and he's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" You know, so because I think he could tell that I was just playing it cool, but he knew that I knew who he was. So, but that was funny. So it was a real cool trip coming back to Medford, flying from LA. You know, but yeah, sitting next to him on the plane, that was pretty cool. So, but he's the only celebrity I have ever met. So. Yeah, so the first F that I ever got in school, this one I was kind of having a hard time thinking. I think I got an F or a D. I think that was the lowest grade I got, but it was in junior high in PE. I absolutely hated PE. I didn't like it the whole time, but especially junior high. Junior high kids are horrible. Boys are just, I don't know, 13, 14 is probably the worst age to go through. And I had a really, really hard time in junior high. That's probably the hardest. Dodgeball, oh my God. I hated dodgeball, relay racing stuff, playing football. You know, I've always hated sports, but I've only really liked baseball, really. That's the only thing I've liked, but I just had to grit and bear it just trying to get through PE. So I know I got at least a D a couple times in PE. I might have gotten an F, but yeah, I just barely squeaked through with PE in junior high. It was not fun. So this question, I had to omit the stalker question because I know your question was my first stalker. So I haven't had a stalker before, but I wanted to put in my first sport that I played. I only played, well, no, I guess you could say I played 3. Golf is a sport, I guess. But I played soccer, hated soccer. But my first one I really played and liked was baseball, Little League, when I was small. You know, with like with the tee that holds the ball and everything. Stuff, you know, something like that. I had a good time pretty much, you know, playing that for, I'd say, maybe 3 or 4 years when I was little, playing Little League. But yeah, I'd usually get stuck out in left field. I know that's a cliche, you know, but literally I was always stuck out in left field. Nothing ever happened, you know. Kids that young, it's really hard for them to hit the ball far, so I'm sitting out there in the field, you know. I'm allergic to grass, okay? I've always been allergic to grass, so I'm sitting down, bored in the field, just sitting there, you know, rubbing my eyes. I'm itching because I'm just miserable because I'm just so allergic to this grass, and I'm just waiting to where I can get for it's my team's turn to bat because I like to hit the ball. So I'm just sitting out there waiting, you know, nothing's going on, but yeah, baking in the sun. I remember that vividly, but I still liked Little League. You know, it was my first sport I played pretty much, so yeah. And the last question, my first concert. Well, my first concert, I'm pretty sure the year was 1997, and I went with my friend Lucy at the time. We went to see Korn. I don't know if you've listened to Korn before. A lot of their early stuff, like the song Blind and Chutes and Ladders and stuff like that. I was getting really into the real hardcore metal, you know. So yeah, it was a great concert. I went to see them up north in Salem at the Salem Armory. So yeah, it was pretty cool. We got our seating kind of up, you know, higher, and sat to watch the concert and watch the mosh pit and everything like that because it was pretty big. But yeah, I remember that vividly. That was a great show. Then after that, of course, I was hooked, and I just concert after concert, and we had to go here and we had to go there, and so yeah, it just kept going after that. But yeah, Korn, 1997, my first concert. It was pretty cool. So I hope you liked the video, Eugenia. And yeah, I hope it wasn't too long. It says 30 minutes, so hopefully I can edit some of this out. I'm so sorry if it's too long. You know, I kind of ramble sometimes, so I try not to do that. But yeah, sometimes I can't help it. I get excited and I just keep talking and talking. So anyway, I hope you are doing good today, and I'm sure Kingdom Hearts has been so much fun. So I'm glad you're having a good time playing that and everything. I'm sure it was so worth the wait. So yeah, I loved your Kyrie costume and your Keyblade, Destiny's Embrace, and your new video you just released a few days ago. So yeah, but I hope you're doing good, and no, I love you so much. And I'm gonna have to go now, but my next video shouldn't be long, so I will see you in my next video, Eugenia. Okay, I love you so much. Mwah. Kiss right there. Oh, and one more. Okay, love you. Bye.